Hey friends, and welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. We're back on our Vibes and Delights YouTube channel, and it's Monday, and we all hate going to work on Mondays. So let's hear a Monday work story. Today's story is called Customer Said I Must Not Know My Boss Very Well. I work for my dad. So, a pretty great story from work this morning where I got to one up this guy. So, I'll start by saying I work for my dad at a store. I work the front counter and interact with most people and customers. Also, I look more like my mom. My dad runs a separate business as well, but anybody who needs to talk to him for either business can usually find him here in the office. So this guy shows up this morning looking pretty ruffled and asks my dad if my dad was here. I replied, "You just missed him. He's out for the morning doing a couple things." He was very displeased by this information and was acting very loud and unprofessional. I'm sorry. When will people realize that the way to get people to do things for you is not by berating them, yelling at them? It's not by cursing them out and bullying them. You know how you get people to do what the fuck you want them to? By actually being kind. Butter them people up. Butter them up. When I put on the sugar, when I put on the sugar, like, I mean for real, like, "I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I can definitely advise at this time." You know what I'm saying? Like, when I do that, people automatically like they go really far down. That's code switching for those who aren't aware, because apparently they have some issues to telling that apart. But real talk though, the way to get people to do what you want them to is not berating them and not yelling at them. I'm sorry. And these Karens and Jerrys are gonna learn today. You know what I'm saying? Butter them up. I promise they'll be more willing to do what you want them to, and you won't end up on the internet looking like an idiot. Now you're famous for being an idiot because you just couldn't take no for an answer. Let me turn this light from me, by the way. All right. No, it's even worse now. It's fine. Whatever. All right. And then it says, he started looking around the store and eventually came back to the front counter with a piece of equipment that he wanted to trade for some work that he apparently did for him before. Keep in mind, I know most of my dad's workers and I've never seen this guy before. I told him that I don't do any negotiations while he's not there, and I can't just let him leave the store with something for free. I told him that normally he probably wouldn't have wanted to take that route, but he was welcome to discuss it with him once he's back. He looked at me and replied, "You're making a big mistake here, and you must not know," insert dad name here, "very well, because he would do this for me," and blah, blah, blah. I just looked at him and replied, "I actually do know him quite well, seeing as he's my father." Yes. Does anybody have any good come-up-in stories? I would love to hear them, okay? I told him that he could either leave or wait for my dad to get back. He kind of looked up at me and was pretty speechless. When I tell y'all, these people just stay fucking around and finding out. This didn't have to be this way. I could tell he felt stupid and immediately regretted his comment. He ended up waiting around in his truck for my dad to show up, and guess what? He wasn't going to do the trade. It's almost like I know my boss really well. Oh my God. Apparently, the guy just worked for like 2 days for him and then quit. So he had all that audacity and all of that bass in his, so he was just loud and wrong and then tried to, you don't know him, but he worked for 2. I will throw. I don't have anything around me to throw that I am comfortable throwing, but I will throw something. Oh my gosh. So he worked for 2 days for him and then quit. Ugh. Plus, the thing he wanted was way more expensive than what he was owed. It's almost like, so he was like trying to like trade in a piece of equipment, right? That's almost like user behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like substance users. Like maybe he was trying to get something that was equitable, that he could make some money off of really quick. Hmm. Weird. Side note, the pay wasn't made yet because we're bi-weekly. And oh, he said plus the thing he wanted was more expensive than what he was owed. Oh, yeah, no, that definitely sounds like some kind of behavior. I swear, some of the people around here are nuts. But a petty, don't you know who I am moment made my day. Absolutely, absolutely OP. And that's the end of the story. I fucking love it. I don't really have a whole lot of petty revenge stories. I have a lot of like just stories where things happen very nicely, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Let's read a couple comments, and please, once again, share them to me in the Discord. Share them to me in the Vibes and Delights Discord in the story time. You can find the Vibes and Delights over this way. You can find this. Anyway, you can find the Discord on the on my link tree. You can find my link tree in my Tickle Talk and my Instagram on both Vibes and Delights and on my actual profile, Friendly Human. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm still trying to get used to this. Let's read some of these comments. All right. I worked for a florist while I was going to college, and it was owned by a husband and wife. Her name was Joan, but it was pronounced Joanne. You hear me hesitate? I immediately hesitated because I wasn't even sure how to say it. Seemed like once a month someone would come in wanting a discount, dropping Joanne's name, but pronouncing it incorrectly. I always loved the look on their face when I'd correct them subtly, letting them know I was aware that they didn't really know her or they would know how to say her name. Mm-hmm. My mom once got a telemarketing call where the guy demanded to speak to the head of the household. My mom asked, "What is this regarding?" and was told air duct cleaning. My mom very nicely replied, "I'm not interested." And the guy on the phone told her that he'd already spoken to my dad and he said he would be purchasing the services. My mom was like, "Oh, really? When was this?" Apparently, the commitment was made just last week. My mom's response, though, "That's interesting. My husband has been unalive for 6 months." Insert sound of shocked Pikachu face. That was the first time we were able to laugh on over my dad's passing because we knew he would have enjoyed that phone call. Aw, oh, P, oh, commenter. That makes me feel some type of way. And I just realized I do have a little story of something very similar happening. I may not have very many petty revenge stories, but I do have a lot of like just relevant stories. Also, yeah, tell me your telemarketer stories, guys. So a time upon a once, right after my dad passed away, I used to carry his cell phone around. Don't ask me. Grief affects us all in different ways. One of the ways for me was I used to carry his phone around. Well, this one time, like generally speaking, whenever you tell people like, hey, I'm looking for your dad, insert name here, you would be like, "Oh, he's no longer with us. I do apologize, but please take us off your list." You know what I'm saying? And they will get it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be very receptive and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," and then they straight up hang up in your face. You know what I'm saying? But there was this one time I got a call and it was a telemarketer, and I was like, "Hey, it would be really awesome if you could take us off your list because he's no longer with us." And he was like, well, where is he? Where is he? Does he just not live with you? Did he move states? What's his new number? What do you mean he's not there? Why can't you just tell me where it is? And he got so aggro. But you know what? I was just like so dumbfounded. I was just like, I don't what I was like, no longer with us means he's fucking unalive. He's not with us anymore. He's not alive anymore. What the hell is your problem? Like, I got aggro in his face and I was like, how dare you? You know, I went the fuck off on him. I was like, how dare you talk to me this type of way when my dad just passed away? He was just like, well, maybe you should just say it like that, and then hung up in my face. I didn't hear from him ever again, but still, damn, that's like the only one I got. And I bet you he felt stupid. And also, just like, if we're on the subject of grief and finding, like, fucking around and finding out, it is so funny to me whenever people, you know, like, during the holidays, I, you know, get really emotional and sentimental and kind of grinchy, you know what I'm saying? Kind of very grinchy, if I'm being totally honest. But some people like will poke and prod and be like, "Hey, look at you, you're a Grinch." Oh, you're a Grinch. Yes. I've only just recently accepted that I'm kind of grinchy, you know. I'm not necessarily against the festivities, but I mostly kind of would like to be left alone. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to participate if I feel up to it, but a lot of times I really don't. So please let me make that choice. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when your coworkers like they come up to you and they're just like, "Oh, you're just a Grinch," you know what I'm saying? Like, aren't you excited about the holidays and stuff? And you try to be like, yeah, you know, I'm excited. It's cool, you know, whatever. And then they just keep poking you. Why aren't you into the festivities? Why aren't you into the festivities? Because my dad's favorite holiday was Christmas, and he's no longer with us. I'm never going to get to spend another holiday with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And like, if they had just left me alone, I would have like probably said something. No, you know, like, oh, it feels good to smile and laugh during the holidays, even though my dad's not here. You know what I'm saying? But it feels good, you know, because I know that he would want this for me. You know, I probably would have come out with it eventually. You know what I'm saying? But when you poke and poke and poke the bear's claws will be released. Not cocaine bear, I'm just saying. Like, but if you keep poking the fucking bear, you will fuck around and you will find out and you will look fucking stupid after. So maybe don't be like that, guys. All right, I'm done bitching for now. But all right, y'all. I can't wait to read your guys' stories. I hope y'all are having a good time in the Discord. I hope y'all are having fun and being kind and spreading kindness out there. But mostly, I just hope y'all have a good day. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat something and have a good rest of your night. All right, guys. Mwah! See you next time.